I built my small business from the ground up with passion and dedication. Amanda seemed like the perfect partner both in life and business. We complemented each other's strengths and shared a vision that quickly became profitable. I trusted her completely, putting everything into our joint venture. Then she betrayed me by filing a lawsuit, claiming it was all hers. She had no idea that her greedy power play would cost her everything she tried to steal from me. Before I dive into this wild story, let me know where you are watching from in the comments. If you appreciate stories about justice served, hit that like and subscribe button as we explore how documentation saved my business and my sanity. My name is Mason, a 32-year-old software developer from Seattle. I remember meeting Amanda at a tech conference 6 years ago during a panel discussion about emerging technologies. I was presenting my innovative app concept when I noticed her in the audience asking insightful questions. Her intelligence and quick thinking immediately caught my attention. After my presentation, she approached me with specific feedback that showed she truly understood my vision. Amanda worked as a marketing director for a mid-sized tech firm. She had this magnetic personality that drew people in with her confident smile and ability to make anyone feel like the most important person in the room. Her shoulder-length auburn hair framed a face that lit up when she talked about market strategies and consumer psychology. Our first date happened at a small coffee shop downtown, where we talked for hours about technology, business ideas, and our dreams. I still remember how she laughed when I spilled coffee on my new shirt, helping me clean up without a hint of judgment. That genuine kindness made me feel completely at ease with her. Over the next 6 months, our relationship deepened. We traveled to Portland for a weekend getaway, where we hiked through Forest Park and discussed starting our own company someday. We developed inside jokes about terrible business names and celebrated small victories together, like when I landed a major client for my freelance work or when she received a promotion. After dating for a year, we decided to take the leap and start a software company together. My concept focused on developing customized customer relationship management software for small businesses filling a gap in the market. Amanda brought her marketing expertise to the table, confidently asserting we could capture significant market share within 2 years. I invested $160,000 from my savings into our startup, which represented nearly everything I had accumulated over 8 years of careful saving. Amanda contributed $40,000, but we agreed to a 50-50 partnership because her marketing skills and business connections seemed equally valuable. We formalized everything with proper documentation, or so I thought at the time. We named our company NexTier Solutions and rented a small office space in downtown Seattle. Within 6 months, we hired our first 2 employees developers, who helped expand our product capabilities. By the end of our first year, we had reached $500,000 in revenue, exceeding our initial projections by 20%. The first warning signs appeared subtly. During client meetings, Amanda would slightly shift credit for key innovations, saying things like, "I developed this feature after noticing a market trend," instead of acknowledging my technical contributions. Small verbal agreements about business direction would mysteriously change in her recollection days later. Reviewing our quarterly financials, I noticed discrepancies between our sales records and bank deposits. When I brought this to Amanda, she became defensive, accusing me of not trusting her. She claimed the differences were due to reinvestment decisions she made for the good of the company. Her eyes welled with tears as she said, "I thought you believed in me," making me feel guilty for questioning her judgment. I convinced myself these were minor issues that would resolve as our business matured. After all, we were still growing rapidly, with our client base expanding from local businesses to regional accounts across the Pacific Northwest. Amanda had secured several large clients through her networking skills, so I pushed my concerns aside. Meanwhile, our relationship dynamic shifted gradually. The woman who once supported me unconditionally began criticizing my decisions both professionally and personally. She controlled more aspects of the business, insisting she needed autonomy to work effectively. I compromised repeatedly, believing this was necessary for our continued success. The first major betrayal came during an investor meeting I could not attend, due to a family emergency. My father had been hospitalized, requiring me to fly to Chicago immediately. Amanda volunteered to present our new project management module, which I had personally coded over 3 months of late nights. When I returned and reviewed the meeting recording, I discovered she had presented my work as exclusively her creation, never once mentioning my contribution. When confronted, she dismissed my concerns, saying I was just simplifying things for the investors. They do not need to know every detail about who did what. Besides, I refined your initial concept considerably. Her casual dismissal of my work left me confused and deeply hurt. But I still wanted to believe in our partnership, both business and personal. Despite growing tensions in our relationship, NexTier continued expanding. We moved to a larger office and increased our team to 15 employees. Our software gained recognition in industry publications, bringing more clients and opportunities. As our professional profile rose, Amanda began excluding me from crucial meetings with potential investors and strategic partners. Several times I learned about important business decisions only after they had been finalized. When I expressed concern about being sidelined, Amanda would say, "I did not want to bother you with administrative details when you should focus on development." The situation worsened when I discovered Amanda had been quietly changing our ownership documentation. While reviewing our annual corporate filing, I noticed slight modifications to the partnership terms, gradually reducing my decision-making authority while maintaining the 50-50 ownership split on paper. These changes had been made using my electronic signature, which she had access to for routine business matters. During our confrontation about these unauthorized changes, Amanda turned the situation around with remarkable skill. Looking genuinely confused, she said, "We discussed these adjustments months ago, Mason. You agreed it made sense for me to handle external business matters while you focused on product development. Do not you remember that conversation?" After the Miller client meeting, her conviction made me question my own memory momentarily. Increasingly concerned, I contacted my college friend Jackson, who practiced corporate law. Over lunch away from the office, I explained the situation. His expression grew serious as I shared more details. "Mason, this is not normal business procedure. You need to protect yourself immediately. Start documenting everything. Save all emails. Record meetings when legal and secure copies of all original agreements. Something does not add up here." Taking Jackson's advice, I began meticulously documenting every aspect of our business. I backed up all company files to my personal secure cloud storage, recorded our meetings when Washington state law permitted, and kept detailed notes of every conversation with Amanda. I also discovered how to access deleted company emails, revealing messages I was never meant to see. Amanda's hostility increased noticeably during this period. She criticized my work publicly during team meetings, questioned my commitment to the company, and scheduled important demonstrations when she knew I had unmovable personal obligations. The warm, supportive partner I had known had completely vanished. My systematic documentation led to a shocking discovery. Amanda had opened a separate business bank account under the company name, diverting approximately 30% of our new client payments to this unauthorized account. Over 6 months, she had accumulated nearly $200,000 that never appeared on our official books. When I presented evidence of this separate account during a private meeting in our conference room, Amanda's reaction was frightening. Her face contorted with rage before quickly composing herself into cold calculation. "That account is for emergency business needs I established with our accountant's guidance. The fact that you have been spying on confidential financial matters proves you are not trustworthy enough for full financial disclosure." The argument escalated into her delivering an ultimatum. Either I step back from daily operations and focus exclusively on product development with no visibility into business operations, or she would take steps to dissolve our partnership. She claimed she had documented my supposed failures and could easily prove I had breached our partnership agreement. That night, our personal relationship imploded in our shared downtown apartment. After hours of circular arguments, accusations, and tearful manipulations from Amanda, I gathered essential belongings and checked into a nearby hotel. The woman I had loved for years looked at me with such contempt that I hardly recognized her. The following morning, I found the office locks changed. My keycard access had been deactivated, and I was locked out of all company email accounts and servers. Text messages from several employees revealed Amanda had called an emergency staff meeting claiming I had embezzled company funds and was being removed pending investigation. Over the next week, Amanda systematically turned our employees against me. She claimed I had been secretly planning to sell the company without consulting her, that I had hidden code problems from clients, and even suggested I had inappropriate relationships with staff members. My attempts to contact team members were largely ignored or met with hostile responses. Isolated and watching my life's work being stolen, I reached rock bottom. Alone in my hotel room, I could barely eat or sleep. Self-doubt crept in as I wondered if I could have prevented this, or if I had somehow misunderstood what was happening. The betrayal by someone I had completely trusted shattered my confidence. Then came the certified letter from Amanda's lawyer claiming I had violated our partnership agreement through negligence and abandonment of duties. She demanded I surrender all ownership claims to NexTier in exchange for a $70,000 settlement, roughly a tenth of the company's actual value. The letter threatened immediate legal action if I failed to comply within 72 hours. The official lawsuit filing came with allegations that stunned me. Amanda claimed I had contributed minimally to the company's intellectual property, had misrepresented my technical abilities, and had essentially abandoned the business over the past 6 months. The documents painted me as an incompetent developer who had ridden on her business acumen and marketing genius. Finding quality legal representation drained my remaining savings. My attorney, Sofia Ramirez, specialized in business partnership disputes but required a $20,000 retainer. Living in a small studio apartment and using my emergency fund to cover basic expenses, I faced the terrifying possibility of losing everything I had worked for. The legal process began with brutal intensity. During my deposition, Amanda's lawyer attacked every aspect of my professional capabilities, my character, and my contributions to NexTier. He presented carefully selected email fragments that, taken out of context, made it appear I had been disengaged from the business. The 6-hour session left me emotionally exhausted and questioning whether I could win against such calculated dishonesty. Fortunately, my meticulous documentation provided Sophia with powerful ammunition. I had preserved the original partnership agreement, maintained copies of all code repositories, showing my contributions, saved email threads, demonstrating my active business involvement, and recorded several meetings where Amanda had acknowledged my crucial role in the company. The discovery phase revealed something even more disturbing. In emails to her personal lawyer, Brandon Turner, Amanda had outlined her strategy to push me out 6 months earlier. One particularly damning message read, "Once we secure the Westfield contract, we can accelerate the plan to remove Mason. He has served his purpose in building the technical foundation. Now we need someone more ambitious for the growth phase." Most shocking was the revelation that Brandon, who had been advising her professionally for months, was also romantically involved with her. Despite this mounting evidence, I experienced my darkest moment 3 months into the litigation. Amanda filed an emergency motion, claiming I had attempted to sabotage company servers, and requested an injunction preventing me from any contact with our clients or employees. Though eventually dismissed for lack of evidence, the allegation temporarily damaged my reputation within the industry. The turning point came unexpectedly. While organizing my documentation, I discovered recordings from our office security system that included audio. One clip captured Amanda and Brandon in our conference room after hours explicitly discussing their scheme. Amanda's voice was crystal clear. "Mason has no idea we have been adjusting the books. By the time this is over, he will walk away with nothing while thinking he got a fair deal. I almost feel bad for him. His technical skills built this company, but business is business." When Sophia presented this recording during a case conference, Amanda's lawyer visibly paled. He requested a brief recess, during which animated whispers could be heard from their conference room. Their subsequent request for a settlement discussion signaled the first crack in their confidence. During Amanda's deposition the following week, her carefully constructed narrative began to unravel. When presented with original documents next to the altered versions, She contradicted her previous sworn statements multiple times. Her explanation for the separate bank account collapsed under scrutiny, especially when our company accountant testified he had no knowledge of its existence, directly contradicting her earlier claim. The judge assigned to our case, a no-nonsense veteran of business disputes, began showing increasing skepticism toward Amanda's claims. During one hearing, after Amanda offered contradictory testimony about financial decisions, Judge Reynolds removed his glasses and stated bluntly, "Mrs. Harmon, this court has serious concerns about the consistency of your testimony compared to the documented evidence. I suggest you and your counsel carefully consider your position moving forward." As her case weakened, Amanda made increasingly desperate attempts to salvage her claims. She suddenly claimed we had a verbal agreement modifying our partnership terms. Then she suggested company files had been manipulated after she lost access. Each new explanation contradicted previous testimony, digging her deeper into credibility issues. The courtroom scene on the day Sophia presented our complete evidence package remains vivid in my memory. The methodical presentation included a timeline of Amanda's documented actions alongside evidence of my continued contributions and involvement in the business. The security footage showing Amanda and Brandon discussing their scheme played on the courtroom monitors, their voices filling the silent room. Amanda's face drained of color as her own words condemned her. Under oath, Amanda was caught in multiple contradictions. When asked about the separate bank account, she claimed it was for vendor payments, then minutes later said it was for emergency reserves, then suggested it was for potential acquisition opportunities, each explanation conflicting with documentation and her previous statements. Judge Reynolds did not hide his disapproval. In an unusually direct statement from the bench, he noted, "In my 30 years presiding over business disputes, I have rarely seen such blatant disregard for partnership obligations and business ethics. The evidence suggests a calculated effort to deprive a business partner of his rightful ownership through manipulation and misrepresentation. This court takes such matters extremely seriously." Strengthened by the mounting evidence in my favor, I instructed Sophia to file a countersuit seeking full ownership of NexTier Plus damages for fraud, defamation, and emotional distress. The comprehensive filing detailed Amanda's systematic deception, financial manipulation, and the significant harm caused to both the business and my personal reputation. Our legal strategy shifted from defensive to aggressively proactive. Sophia subpoenaed all communications between Amanda and Brandon Turner, going back 18 months, revealing their relationship had begun while he was still representing our company in other matters, creating an undisclosed conflict of interest that violated legal ethics rules. Recognizing their deteriorating position, Amanda's new lawyer she had fired, Brandon, after his conflict of interest was exposed, attempted to arrange a settlement conference. They offered to restore my 50% ownership if I would drop all other claims. Sophia advised me that the evidence now strongly favored a complete victory if we continued. I declined the settlement offer, telling Sophia, "This was never about just maintaining what was rightfully mine. It is about accountability for deliberate harm." After sleepless nights, lost friendships, and damage to my professional reputation, accepting half of what was stolen would feel like another betrayal. After 8 grueling months of litigation, Judge Reynolds issued his verdict. The judgment awarded me 100% ownership of NexTier Solutions, stating the evidence overwhelmingly established Amanda's systematic bad faith actions to deprive me of my legitimate business interest. Additionally, the court ordered Amanda to pay $560,000 in damages, covering my legal expenses, lost income, and compensation for defamation. In a rare move that demonstrated the seriousness of Amanda's misconduct, Judge Reynolds referred the matter to the district attorney's office for potential perjury charges based on her contradictory sworn testimony. He also forwarded evidence to the State Bar Association regarding Brandon Turner's ethical violations in representing Amanda while maintaining an undisclosed personal relationship. The financial judgment against Amanda forced her to liquidate personal assets, including her waterfront condominium and luxury vehicle. The local business community, which had initially been divided over our dispute, united behind me after the court documents became public record, revealing the extent of her deception. Amanda's professional reputation collapsed within our industry. 3 clients who had followed her when she attempted to start a competing business during litigation returned to NexTier, citing concerns about her business ethics. Former colleagues distanced themselves, and her previously active social media accounts went dormant as the full story spread through professional circles. Rebuilding NexTier after the lawsuit required significant effort. I personally met with each employee, transparently explaining what had happened, while never disparaging Amanda beyond the established facts. Surprisingly, 12 of our 15 team members remained with the company, expressing relief that the leadership uncertainty had been resolved. The company structure underwent complete reorganization. I implemented proper financial controls with multiple oversight layers, created a transparent decision-making framework, and established an employee profit-sharing program to align everyone's interests with the company's success. Within 6 months after the verdict, NexTier secured 2 major contracts that doubled our annual revenue. Our team expanded to 23 employees, and we moved to larger offices in South Lake Union. The software platform Amanda had claimed was failing, without her marketing genius, achieved industry recognition, winning a Regional Innovation Award. My personal healing journey proved more challenging than business reconstruction. Weekly therapy sessions helped me process the betrayal trauma and rebuild my capacity for trust. I developed a small circle of genuine friends who supported me through the darkest periods. Gradually, I rediscovered my passion for software development and entrepreneurship beyond the shadow of Amanda's betrayal. The experience taught me invaluable lessons about business and relationships. I learned the crucial importance of comprehensive documentation and proper legal protections, even in seemingly trustworthy partnerships. More profoundly, I discovered my own resilience and ability to stand firm against manipulation and gaslighting when truth was on my side. I now appreciate that while betrayal can devastate temporarily, it cannot permanently destroy someone committed to integrity and justice. The painful experience, though, never something I would wish on anyone, transformed me into a more discerning, stronger, and paradoxically more compassionate leader. I better understand human nature, both its capacity for deception and for redemption. Today, NexTier Solutions continues thriving under values of transparency, collaboration, and ethical business practices. I maintain careful boundaries in business relationships while remaining open to genuine connections. The scars remain, but they have healed into wisdom rather than hardening into bitterness. Looking ahead, I feel cautiously optimistic about both personal and professional possibilities. The ordeal with Amanda taught me to trust my instincts, value honest communication above comfortable illusions, and recognize that sometimes losing what you thought you wanted opens the door to something more authentic. Have you ever experienced betrayal that ultimately led to unexpected growth? How did you rebuild trust afterward? I would love to hear your stories in the comments below. If this journey of overcoming deception and finding justice resonated with you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more real-life experiences. Share this with someone who might need encouragement that standing up for themselves can lead to victory, even against seemingly impossible odds. Thank you for listening. And remember, documentation is not just paperwork. It might someday be your shield and sword when you need them most.